Today's video, I'm going to talk about why I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and where I'm at now. Stick around. Alright, so a little bit of background, athletic background about me. I grew up skateboarding, biking, that kind of stuff, but I really didn't get into sports until a lot later. I played a little bit of ice hockey. I did one season of soccer, one season of track, but I never really got into wrestling or martial arts. Now, I did do Taekwondo as a kid, but it was a summer camp. I wouldn't really consider it quality training because it was just a little small part of my life and I was very young. So growing up, I got into a lot of fights. I was a nerdy kid, and I had an attitude, chip on my shoulder, and everyone's kind of aware of it. And it's one of those things where, I wasn't really in the worst neighborhood in the world, but, if you didn't show up to fight or if you didn't stand up to your bullies, it just got worse. So, yeah, I have a fair bit of scraps growing up, but nothing really, I'm not proud of it. I really hope other kids don't have to go through that kind of stuff. So let's fast forward. I'm in college, and I did a year and a half, 3 semesters, a little bit in Ohio, a little bit in Maryland, but I wasn't really the best student. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I was having fun just kind of doing other shit. So back to Magic the Gathering, pre-COVID, and there's still a scene now. You can make a little cash on the side going to these tournaments, a local game store, you make a little money, then you go to the big tournament, you flip cards, you buy, sell, maybe do well at the big tournament. And I was doing that for a long time, and it was my life. And I wouldn't go back to it now, but I loved it at the time. So that's kind of where I was at. So we're gonna skip forward a little bit. So it's December 2019, January 2020. I was having a pretty good season with the competitive Magic stuff. Living in Delaware, things are going kind of for me. I don't really know what I want to do, but I'm not going to get into too much detail out of respect to my family. But both sides of my family, we lost my grandfathers, right? So it was within, I'd say, a 6-week window. We said goodbye to both of them. A lot of us were there for those last few days of their lives, and that puts me in the beginning of 2020 kind of broken, kind of lost. A lot of things came out through that for me mentally and emotionally that I didn't really know existed. One thing was, they were great men, well accomplished, well loved, and I felt like a loser. I was playing competitive card games for money. I really didn't have anything going on, and I was angry, I was bitter, and a lot of those feelings of being a kid again kind of came back, and I wanted to fight. I was talking about going to street beefs, this and that, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So a good friend of mine, I've known since I was a child, I call him Tiny. He's not tiny, he's a 6'7" athlete, judoka, wrestler, college football, did some track, big dude, strong man. He hit me up, he's like, hey dude, just try the jiu-jitsu thing out. So we go, I maybe went to 1 or 2 classes, really loved it, but COVID-19 happens, so East Coast shuts down. So I can't train this new thing I just found. I can't do the Magic the Gathering thing anymore. Job I was about to start, not happening anymore because of COVID. So it's kind of just lost again. Didn't know what to do. A good buddy of mine I went to high school with, Larry, hits me up and he's like, hey, we got a spot in Ohio for you if you want to move back. We would work up here. So I ended up going back to Ohio. So we get to October, November 2020. We find a gym, Monster Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Chillicothe, Ohio, and we hopped in, we started training, and we loved it. Oh, buddy, my dog. We started going hard with it. Within the first 3 months, we do a tournament, and I quickly found out I sucked at fighting. From the first class, first tournament, I got submitted 7 times out of my 8 matches. I was put on a Grapple Industries highlight reel about how bad posture leads to your downfall in jiu-jitsu matches, right? So it was a lot. But I left that with this burning fire, and I'm super competitive with myself. I was like, I love this. I want to get good at this. I want to keep doing this. And it's this cool little world where you can just go sign up and go fight other dudes. It's kind of fun. So I got into it heavy, eating a lot now, working different warehouse manufacturing jobs, and I was in a relationship with somebody, and then it ended, and that sucked. I ended up moving back to Delaware. I was looking at different options, different gyms around the world, around the country, looking at places to go, and Tiny hits me up. He's like, "Hey, there's this gym in Dover. It's called Kaiser Jiu-Jitsu Academy. The head instructor is a pretty cool guy. They got Muay Thai. I know you want to fight. Like, you can do everything here. You can work on some judo and wrestling with me." So I come back to Dover. I start training Muay Thai. I'm starting to train pretty much every day at this point. Within my first year of training Muay Thai, I did a kickboxing fight. Lost by decision, but I was pretty proud of myself for even trying it out. And that was like that first step, realizing like I think I can do this MMA thing. I think I can do this. So I've had a couple fights now. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting better, and that's the cool part. But you know, I come to the gym and I'm training consistently. Eventually, I start helping out with kids class, and then that instructor, he moves on to teach an adult class. So then now I'm the kids instructor. You guys have met Dusty, so I had Dusty come in and help me because Dusty's been in the game a long time, since he was a kid, and I just wanted to have another eye looking at my coaching, helping me get better at coaching. And, you know, some stuff I don't feel like I'm the best at, so he keeps me sharp on it, and he just teaches it instead of me. And it's been a really good system. And now I'm in this spot where I'm, you know, doing some back-end stuff for the gym, and I'm a lot more involved. That brings us to where we're at now. Martial arts is really hard, competing's really hard. You know, I often think about, like, why am I even doing this? But I can't go back at this point. I love it so much, right? I got a place, I've got this culture, this community, this thing that I put my time into it and it gives back to me, right? I didn't have that anywhere else in my life. Now I have a place. I come to the gym, I see all my teammates, you know, it's a beautiful thing. And then I can go anywhere on the East Coast, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, and I can do jiu-jitsu, I can train Muay Thai. It's amazing. So where we're at now for me is I'm just gonna keep going the course. You know, this is like an apprenticeship. You know, you gotta put in your time. You gotta put in a decade of training before you're considered, you know, someone who's an expert in it. So that's the plan. I'm gonna keep training, I'm gonna keep grinding, and you know, one day I'll be able to look back and be like, wow, that was a fun ride, and here's some knowledge I can give back to other people. Alright, so that wraps up today's video, guys. I hope you really liked it. I didn't really want to go too deep in all the sad, soppy, sad stuff. But I just kind of want to like let people know who I am. Like, I'm just a regular dude who was a little sad. I started training martial arts, now I'm less sad. If you liked the video, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and also check out SANABUL. Use code DANSANTOHIR, 15% off. I've been using their stuff since I started training martial arts. I love their stuff. Good quality, affordable, and they support some of my favorite fighters like Sean O'Malley, Gilbert Burns, Max Holloway. You know what I mean? So check them out. Thanks, guys.